When one by one desires come between them, their brightness vanishes. If you keep something within honey, it remains fresh and sweet. The air cannot find a way into it to spoil it. He says to some people, my words seem bitter, but if they endure that bitterness, a sweetness comes to them. One who smiles during the time of bitterness smiles because his eyes are seeing the sweetness that will come in the end. And so, according to this point of view, patience means to witness the end result of an action, and impatience means to be so short-sighted as to not be able to see the outcome. With a humorous story, he encourages us to patiently persevere. He tells us how once there was a rope dancer who would walk on the rope with eyes blindfolded, with wooden clogs on his feet, a water jug on his head, holding 4 things in his hands. He would walk forward on the rope, making creaking sounds with his feet, return again, suddenly throw himself down, hold the rope with his feet and under his armpits, then hang himself by a single finger, and then jump back up onto the rope again. Meanwhile, his heavier friend kept falling. All the time he was on the rope, his friend would keep shouting at him, I've brought you here in the name of such and such a teacher. And he would begin to weep. Then quickly people would gather up sticks and blankets and offer loads of advice. They practice tightrope walking at the seaside, so that if they fall off the rope, they fall into the water. In this way, after long practice, they become master tightrope walkers, and after that, they practice on land. Gradually, they raise their rope and learn about the best ways to stand and walk on it, just as patience is needed for the crescent moon to become full, for the rain on the rocks to turn them into rubies, and for the drops that rain onto the sea to become pearls. These too would slowly become expert tightrope walkers, with patience and practice. With time, from unripe grapes, you can make halva. From time to time, he says, ask us, how are you? I am your servant, he says. And day and night, I'm occupied with praying for you. In the process of learning how to be true servants, Shams encourages us to keep good companionship, to open to the presence of the prophets, to zikr the prophets. He says, everyone speaks about his peer. In a dream, the blessed prophet gave a khirqa to me, a cloak to me, but not one of those cloaks that would become old after only 2 days and fall to pieces to be thrown into the furnace or to be used for dishcloths. Rather, it's a cloak of companionship and conversation. Not a companionship with any limits, but a companionship that has no yesterday, today, or tomorrow. What does love have to do with yesterday, today, or tomorrow? He says there's no doubt you take on the nature of the one with whom you sit, the one with whom you're closely in contact. If you spend time looking at straw, dryness constricts you. If you look at greenery and roses, freshness opens within you. Your companionship pulls you to his or her own universe. This is why reading the Quran purifies the heart. You remember the Prophet's words and their states. Their forms unite with your spirit. They become your comrades and sit with you. By means of that great, immortal, and infinite jewel, I gained such a warm, high knowledge, I merged with it and became filled with its fire. He tells us, the spirits of the great attained ones are ready. They recognize the living ones and help them. And he says, even if the whole world would hang me by my beard, still if something needs to be said, I will say it. And without a doubt, even after 1,000 years or 800, these words will be heard by those whom I want to hear. A few people became the prophet's scribes for the revelation, those who wrote down the divine commands. And a few people became the place where the revelation descends, the place of its effect. Work hard so that you may be both. In other words, be both the object of the revelation and the scribe of the revelation that comes to the heart. Oh, my graceful friend, what more can we say? May God be with you, Şems says. But this is not a wish for separation, but a prayer that the favor and help of God and the friendship of the Master and the truth, who knows the secrets, might protect you. Stop, O my camel. Joy has come to its last degree. The work is finished. The way has come to an end. The earth has turned into a beautiful paradise. The time of celebration has come again, and things have been set right. Şems tells us that Mevlana would say to him, if you are silent, your speech becomes brighter, because both the light of silence and the value of speech are hidden within silence. So for a few moments, I'd like to invite us into silence with Şems, into the heart, and then to seal this offering with a few words from the Quran. In the name of God, the infinitely compassionate and infinitely merciful, consider time. Truly, human beings are in loss, except those who have faith and do the deeds of wholeness and reconciliation, and encourage each other in truth, and encourage each other in patient perseverance. Bismillah ar-Rahman ar-Rahim. Wal asr. Inna al-insani lafi khusr. Illa alladhina amanu wa amilu salihati wa tawasaw bil haqqi wa tawasaw bis sabr. Sadakallahu al-azim. Aşk olsun.